UConn is back in a familiar place, the #1 overall seed in the women's basketball NCAA tournament. Joining the Huskies as top seeds are Notre Dame, Louisville and Mississippi State. The Huskies enter as the lone unbeaten team and will be vying for their 12th national championship. It's the 9th time that UConn has entered the NCAAs undefeated, including last year when the Huskies went in as the overwhelming favorite before their 111-game winning streak ended with a loss to Mississippi State in the Final Four. This year's Final Four is in Columbus, Ohio, and will take place on March 30th. The national championship game is on Sunday, April 1st. Defending national champion South Carolina and AJA Wilson await as a possible Elite Eight matchup for UConn in the Albany Regional. The Gamecocks are the 2 seed. What can you do? You have to beat some pretty good teams. Is it an impossible feat? Obviously not, South Carolina coach Don Staley said. We saw that last year. If we are in the position where we have to play them, we are going to play them. We are going to give it our best shot and let the chips fall where they may. The Gamecocks lost by 25 at home against UConn on Feb. 1. Florida State and Georgia are the other top seeds in the Huskies part of the bracket. Brackets are brackets. There are good teams in every bracket, UConn coach Gino Orima said. There are great matchups in every bracket and it doesn't really matter at this stage where you're placed, what region, you're going to have to beat some really good teams. The schedule we play, I knew we'd get somebody 2 or 3 that we already played. We know that UConn, which has been a No.1 seed every year since 2007, opens up against 16-seed St. Francis, Pennsylvania, on Saturday morning. All of the top 4 teams in each region host the opening 2 rounds at home. Like the Huskies, the Irish are a #1 seed again. Notre Dame has been a top seed the last 7 years. This might be one of Coach Muffet McGraw's finest accomplishments as Notre Dame lost 4 pivotal players to injury, but only 3 games on the season. 2 of those losses came to Louisville. A great reward for this team for what they've been through, playing the toughest schedule and getting a #1 seed, McGraw said. I'm so proud of this group and what they have accomplished. One is quite an accomplishment for what we've been through all year long. The Irish are in the Spokane Regional and open up against Cal State Northridge on Friday. If Notre Dame advances, the Irish would head out west to potentially face #2 seed Oregon. We've never been in the West bracket. I love playing Friday at 5. That's awesome, McGraw said. The Ducks could stay out west and play in Spokane, where Coach Kelly Graves spent many years as Gonzaga's coach. Ohio State and Texas A. Louisville won the Atlantic Coast Conference for the first time this season. The Cardinals open up against Boise State and are one of 8 ACC teams in the field. The Southeastern Conference has 7 teams in the tournament, while the Pac-12 and the Big Ten have 6. We're really excited about the opportunity, Louisville coach Jeff Walz said. We're excited to host the first 2 at home against 2 very good basketball teams. If we're fortunate enough to advance, we get the opportunity to play in Lexington, which would be great for our fans. The Lexington Regional is stacked with former NCAA tournament winners with Baylor the 2 seed, Tennessee the 3 and Stanford the 4. The Lady Vols have been in the NCAA tournament every year since it began in 1982. Nicholls State, Northern Colorado, Mercer and Seattle will be making their first appearances. Stanford potentially is headed to Lexington for the 3rd straight year if it can advance. Mississippi State is a #1 seed for the first time in school history. The Bulldogs won their first 32 games this season before losing to South Carolina in the SEC title game. With most of their players back from last season's runner-up finish, including Morgan Williams, who hit the game winner in overtime to knock off UConn, the Bulldogs hope to make another deep NCAA run. The NCAA revealed Sunday night the final 8 teams under consideration for the last 4 spots in the tournament. Buffalo, Creighton, Minnesota and Oklahoma got in. Purdue, Rutgers, Southern Cal and West Virginia were the first 4 teams out. Oklahoma got in with a 16-14 record, the fewest wins for an at-large team since 2005, a day after the Oklahoma men got an at-large berth with an 18-13 record and losses in 11 of their final 15 games. We spent almost 7 hours on that decision of who those last 4 teams in and first 4 out were, NCAA Women's Basketball Committee Chair Rhonda Bennett said. We went through those resumes and their body of work. We took as long as it took to get those teams into the bracket. Bennett said Oklahoma's strength of schedule, which was second best in the country, was a key to its selection. ____ AP sports writer Pete Iacobelli and AP freelancer John Finneran contributed to this story.